Hey everyone, within this final week's presentation, you'll find a video that is analytical in nature and examines the problems of scale and how it factors into a government's ability to effectively operate and meet the needs of its population. Human scale is an issue that affects most everyone that lives on this planet. As the population of the planet grows, so do the needs of the people. Governments need to be flexible enough in order to meet this growing demand. They also need to be willing to listen to innovative ideas that may be able to help alleviate some of the weight that extensive population growth has on society. Within this video, I will examine the factors that weigh into how governments make these decisions and what happens when political systems do form and begin to spread, encompassing larger and larger populations. After going through the resources provided to us this week, I was able to see that there are some that believe social and political order are necessary for human existence, or at least a peaceful human existence. And then there are some that don't believe that higher powers are necessary at all. It's definitely an interesting topic. Those that believe these systems are necessary fear that without overlying control, there will be anarchy, essentially. And society can basically do as they please. They argue that political order is natural. However, there are also those that would argue that political order and systems are something that we, as humans, created, which, I mean, essentially we did. And that they're not necessary for existence. I can understand both sides though, and I have my own opinions on the matter, but it's important to understand more about each side's perspective. As we understand each side's perspective more, we can understand the pros and cons of each point of view. One thing I found that was interesting is that in order for humans to be a part of these political systems, that they must surrender something, the absolute power to do as they please. So basically, they have to agree to obey laws and things like that. This surrender of power usually happens to a higher body, such as a government or a religious group. In some ways, social and political orders are created in response to population growth. As populations grow and people begin living in closer proximity to one another, problems can arise. If we look back at history, though, we can see that the rising of political orders isn't always accepted by the populations they encompass. We can see an example of this with Switzerland being created in response to the spreading of the Holy Roman Empire in 1291. We can also see that political and religious bodies can conflict at times when they're both vying for control. Well, we've seen this throughout history as well. It's interesting to look at population growth through history because it's really something that has triggered a lot of major historical events. This is definitely a topic I want to study more in the future, as it connects with a lot of the subject matter that I personally study, which is studying Plymouth Colony and the ways that affected Native Americans in the early 17th century. Population growth is important to look at when looking at things like colonization, so it's definitely a topic that I'll be looking more into. But thanks for taking the time to view my video, and congratulations to everyone for getting through this course. Best of luck to you all next term.